Hey everyone, Aaron here at LiftArc. We are really excited for 2024, and part of what we are focused on in this upcoming year is really taking things up another level. And one of the ways that we want to do that is here in our office. This is a really kind of magical space that has been operating for over 100 years now. Getting us in here and having the privilege to work out of here is really cool. And having an office that we're proud of is really reflective of that. And that's what we want to take this little bit of time before the holidays, during the holidays, to do, to get this office in line. Part of that is I would love to see us built stuff in here, stuff that's built in LiftArc. I think that is one of the coolest things because it's an opportunity for us to flex and really kind of show what we can do and have some fun. Not create a retail showroom of sorts, but just something that creates a good environment that really can show what our capabilities are here. So with that, a couple of the pieces that we wanted to create are really at the entry. One that I was particularly excited about was filling something in to this great big window. We previously had a couch here, which was awesome for napping and bag holding and whatnot. However, getting some more work surfaces for people in here when we have clients, a place to sit and eat and sketch stuff out is super helpful. So wanted to make as close to zero cost, outside of labor cost, of course, to be clear, zero cost in terms of materials entry table. And what we did is comb through, found some bowling alley, which I have wanted to work with some bowling alley ever since I first realized that it was something that could be procured and used. Saw it here and was like, perfect, we're gonna do it. It was about the right size to really make a nice showpiece. And that's what we did. We ripped it apart. It is full of nails. It is hard as rock. It is rock maple. It is hard intentionally because it gets bowling balls thrown at it. This particular section of bowling alley, or bowling lane, I guess is a more accurate term, is from Waynesboro, Virginia, from a place that I'm really sad that I never got to go, but it was called Wayne's Lanes. And I feel particularly proud to be able to have worked on just a little bit of Wayne's Lanes. And we got Wayne's Lanes living life and carrying on Wayne's legacy here at LiftArc Studios. Taking my time a little bit, really focused on making this something that I'm proud of, because it's something that we're going to interact with every day, and it really speaks to who we are and what we do here, and I hope that shows in the quality of product. So enjoy it. I know I did. Happy holidays, y'all. Trying to figure out how to configure it, because really ideally it'd be here. And here's the other question. If I make this to really underline it as a bowling alley, it would be so cool. When you walk in to do some
lane stripes.
Yeah, and I want to do it with the plunge router and resin, and do an inlay. If we could do a bowling LiftArc Studios font, the whole thing.
Dude,
can you design something like that?
Yes, okay, absolutely.
Yes. Do something that is not, I don't know how to describe how it would be difficult to.
Not too...
Rounded corners are helpful.
Yeah.
But that's going to be hard because doing those long, whatever triangles, I don't bowl, so I don't really know.
Yeah,
I just immediately kind of envision, because I could do that in a cool, mother of pearl.
Yeah, very vintage kind of. Yeah. I love that idea.
So the bowling alley, we're only going to use that much of it.
Okay.
The full length. Doing some kind of bowling font lane layout situation, the triangles or whatever, and then a LiftArc Studios in there. I'm gonna route it out, just do infill with resin and some really pretty swirlies in there. I love that. And the full finish, so it actually looks like a mini bowling lane.
That'd be great.
That would be so amazing.
I have miniature bowling pins.
Oh,
I actually do.
Okay, I need someone to design, because that would be really fun to make this thing and surprise him on Monday when he walks in with the full LiftArc.
Yeah, and I know that he would love that too.
Awesome.
That'd be cool.
All right, so I'm gonna break this down and I'll give you like a measurement, and then if someone could maybe design some kind of bowling alley logo design, Walker, if you're game for it.
Glad to.
Just something that then I could print out and use as a template over here when I route.
Cool.
Awesome.
I need you to give me some more boundaries on like what is possible, because
oh shit, yeah.
Because
it's so good.
From what I understand is that
it's so good.
Positive versus negative engagement with the router, right?
Correct.
So how, like, is it even possible to do kind of like
the blue
different
overlay
depths, or like?
Yeah, the way I would need to do that, I can definitely do that.
Really?
I can do that. So the way I'll do that is I'll probably do the blue first, and I'll just do that blue. So I'll need you to like separate them into different
layers.
And then I also need to figure out my cutters, because the smallest.
Yeah, because these corners are sharp.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking more like these lines.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can beef those up if necessary.
I could probably. I need to check what the smallest cutter I have is. I think I have like an 1/8 inch cutter on that, but no, I could definitely do the blue. I would just do the blue first.
Let it dry.
Let it cure, and then just go right over top of it. But where that would be tricky, no, because then it just looks like the border's hidden on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can do that.
I didn't know what kind of layering you required, so I just separated everything.
Perfect. And then maybe if you could give me one of the complete thing, just for
all together.
reference.
Gotcha. You know, they kind of have to overlap. That goes up here, and then that.
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
Yeah. So let me print out a full. So we also decided to give you full liberty on, because I know the resin is gonna kind of dictate a lot of that, of colors. We played around with like the idea of maybe the text is red.
Sure, yeah.
Or white.
White jumped up to my mind.
Yeah. So like this could be white as well. And then the only things that would be the black would be the burned in kind of corners. So, but you have full creative license to mix and match colors however you like.
I'm about to run and make a sandwich and get some pigments and a wood burner. All right, so what we got going on here. This is the backside of this old bowling alley. I can't wait to find out the backstory on it. Clearly very old. It was sitting for a long time. I'm sure it comes from Black Dog origin. But what has happened over time, the way this stuff works is it's kind of like a finger and groove kind of situation that just gets nailed in. And you can see, we're looking at the backside of the alley right now. You can see all the marks of where the nails would be when they originally did this. But over time, when it's separated, because they don't have any glue in there, it's just a mechanical joint, it can move and it has kind of arced. So what I'm in the process of doing right now, last night I bolted this thing down flat because it had kind of cupped like that. And when I bolted it flat, it opened up all these little seams, and I dumped a bunch of wood glue, type 3 type bond in there, and just kind of worked it down in. But today, even though that dried down in there, there's still some cupping going on. So because I want this to be a good long-term solution, cutting some channels out of some old angle iron that clearly somebody had modified, shortened on one end. Great, works for me.
Perfect.
I have to cut that less deep now, so happy about that. And all this is gonna do is give it a mechanical flattening process, and it's just kind of slow going because this maple is hard as a rock. But got one there already in, got another one, gonna cut the next one, then I'm gonna flip it and start doing all the fun sanding and flattening on the actual surface, so then we can turn it into lift arc lanes. Which I'm very, very excited
I'm so
about.
stoked about.
This is gonna be good.
I'm just loving the look of the striped
Well,
maple.
and then, so over here too, kind of spent the first part of the day pulling out all this old original hex stock, which would have been used to cut nuts and bolts here in the machine shop. You know, this could be 100-year-old stock. It probably is 100-year-old stock, but it was so rusted and pitted, so I cut it, sandblasted it, because really, what else are we going to use it for at this point? And I'm going to make the base entirely out of this stuff.
Oh.
This one doesn't quite fit in the sandblaster.
Well, I was about to say, is this how these originally look?
Well, this is actually way better than
Oh,
these
oh,
originally
oh.
look. This is more what they
jeez
originally
Louise,
looked like.
yeah.
Like, there's this real gnarly pitting, and
Good Lord.
it was, you know, stored in a musty machine shop for 100
Yep.
years, which is exactly what it was. These big boys are going to be the 2 feet. So I'm going to cut out some holes and weld in some bungs for some threaded feet to go on the bottom side. And then gonna just kind of build it up from there. This is gonna be a big crossbar for our feet. And then this is the actual frame that the bowling alley is gonna go into. And this, again, was kind of like a, we're making it out of what we got situation. So lots of flat bar that I used and weird old angle remnants, and you know, just I like working with the restriction of materials, because then it like opens up creativity somehow.
Yeah.
Versus just having the world as your oyster and
Yep.
all those options. It's like too much. I got to get the first layer of resin poured tonight to achieve the two-tone kind of look that we're going to go for. So that is the goal for this evening, to get that blue poured. We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Beautiful.
That's about as fine as I'm going to be able to get
That's
on that
perfect,
bit. I
though.
think that's going to be great.
Yeah. That's
Hands
plenty.
up.
Yeah. Dude, that's gonna look so good.
I just got lost in the inside-outside. And routing in resin particularly is really hard, because it just like creates so much gross resin dust that clogs everything. But I followed the line on the inside, basically right here. So I need a little D infill in my salute. My options are, in my caveman world, I would just refill that with blue resin, try and match it as close as I can, let that cure, sand it, and then do it the right way. However, in this space age shop that we're in right now, thought maybe we could use robots to maybe create some kind of dam, essentially, that would allow me to do a really small pour in there and get the blue, and then that way I'll just route this whole thing out flat. And because that's the other thing, it does affect my process right now if we can't do this, if we can. But if we can, I'll route this whole thing out, and then if we could just make kind of that little inside D, or inside F cutout, that D, as like a little tiny cup, basically, that we could super glue in the bottom of that.
So my thought is, we make this, does it need to be that height or just tall?
So it could be a little bit proud of that because I'm gonna sand this whole thing down, and resin's really great in that, like any imperfections, if you do a pour over top of it, like it'll hide it really, really easily.
So are you gonna leave the 3D print in there?
Yeah, the cup will be in there. So, you know, and I'm doing, it's either gonna be blue or white. So I don't know what our filament options are.
Filament?
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
We just have black. We don't have a gray any left, right? Just black.
That's fine. I mean, also I could spray paint it.
True.
So.
I have no idea if the 3D print's gonna make a good dam, but I'm excited to find
seeing
out.
on what some of those little models, like
It's worth a shot.
Oh yeah.
this is where I don't like. How do you get this to there?
I need. Do you have a pencil on you? Let's see if this works.
You sketch it or do a rubbing. Oh, there's a carpenter.
Oh, that's kind of working. Look at that.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna do my best to measure that.
I think I'm gonna do like a pearl white on lift art in here, and then do studios and the lines in black. The question is, what do you do for the like arrows?
That.
I mean, this could be blue. This could be any color.
I mean, I've got a pretty good
If you wanna make
selection of hues
said
in there.
white for these.
Yeah.
Like a pearl.
I would do those some dark.
Yeah. I originally had them black, but I don't think it needs to be that dark.
Yeah.
Cool. I've got mahogany. That's actually what I poured these as mahogany. So it looked like.
Actually, that might be more accurate to the actual bowling lanes because they're just a slightly darker brown than the lane itself.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be great. Cool.
Your D?
Is that too tall?
Putting the D in the F.
That's way too tall.
I think it's too tall.
So I'll make it shorter. What height do you want?
Or I could just route that deeper. That's what I need to do. That's the easier thing to do.
I mean, printing takes like 2 seconds.
That literally took a minute and a half to print. So make it shorter will take less time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Good enough match.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I've got it to a state where it's just completely raw, sanded to 300, 600 on all of this stuff. I don't want to sand any of the wood beyond that because then it starts to like not want to take the finish because it's too smooth.
Bush and grains at that point.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
I'm pretty excited about how this is going to look when it's all done.
If only we knew someone who could 3D print some tiny bowling pins. Like I already don't have a bowling game.
Yeah.
We could do a thing with a ramp and you drop it. And, I've got some 1-inch brass ball bearings too.
I've already got miniature bowling pins. I don't know. I have to 3D print them.
Yeah, you have to.
But now it's just ready for a finish. I originally, so some issues on dealing with this is such a pain. This wood is so freaking hard, intentionally, obviously. It's a bowling alley. But it's thicker on that end because it's just flayed out. It was crowned really bad, so that's why I was reinforcing and flattening it. But all that is to say is I've got a base over there that is square, and this is not entirely square. So I think what we're gonna do, and just explaining this for dropping in, is I've got my caulk and epoxy in the middle, or adhesive in the middle. I want to drop it and just try and get it as even as possible and create like a 1/4-inch gap all the way around, which is what we should have.
Let me get some shims.
Thereabouts. And once I do that, because this is proud, I'm going to do a very careful resin pour around the edge to fill in all that gap so it doesn't like clog with food and dirt and stuff. And then I'm going to do a living finish on top. I'm going to do an oil finish that can be reapplied because resin looks like doing a clear resin pour over this would look phenomenal, but it wears over time. It gets cloudy and looks less phenomenal. And if we do a penetrating oil that can be reapplied over time, I think that's going to be our better.
Yeah, I say treat it like a cutting board.
Mm-hmm. I'll do a drying finish on here versus like a cutting board would be a living like
food safe deal.
Right, something that never hardens. So let's very carefully take it over and kerplunk it. Now we're in the right orientation right now.
There is a left and right.
There is, because the tag is going that way.
Oh, okay.
And then I want this to be kind of right as you walk in the door. And I gotta go ahead and just point it out. This is my hardest moment of the entire thing was I was going beautifully on my round over and I lost my bearing. My bearing came unscrewed and I ate in right there and I just was like, on the time lapse somewhere there's a moment of my soul leaving my body just ever so slightly, but I just had to.
Well, it'll be.
I had to go to confession.
Don't worry, it'll be up against the window, so every single person will see.
Yeah.
Great, thanks. That's hopefully where I can put the.
Yeah, just put it on the edge there. Yeah, and then you're making a pour over, so you can just, yeah, push it over. Dude, that looks so good.
That looks amazing.
It's nice, man.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah, really well done.
Well, he's got one last trick up his sleeve.
Piece de resistance. The world was wondering why you keep a stubby screwdriver around. You're not even close to the hole, buddy. There you go.
Okay.
All the screws better be horizontal.
Oh, don't you worry.
Dude,
Oh, sick. Thanks.
that is stunning. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
Well done, dude.
Yeah. No, you really nailed this.
I am excited because as soon as we put some finish on there, it'll really pop. Like
Yeah, just like
that'll look
darken just a
good.
little bit.
But let me give one just fun through this shot.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe I could with you schedule like a regular inspection or something.
I mean,
Oh.
I suggest that to everybody I do work for. I mean, do a walkover, clean off trash off the roof.
That.
Like you got scuppers over here, clean them out.
Amazing.
You got
So
them
good,
in it.
dude.
Like I said, do it like
That
a,
pearly kind of.
you can't.
No one will ever know. Left
No,
Dark
yeah.
After Dark. What did he use to pigment the?
It's not gonna
Dude, it even
So
makes
good.
the black pop.
Yeah.
There's a little, I'm afraid to point it out, but I got a little bleed over there when I was
Oh,
doing
I-
this. but
Yeah, that's the artist eye right there.
Yeah, I literally. You pointed it out, and I still can't see it.
That's gonna be the first. Like when they walk in, it'll be right there.
Wait, this is amazing, but this is bleeding.
I know, that really kind of kills it for me. Could you take this away? I like the white and
Yes, so do I.
Yeah, that'd be good quality.
glad we did that.
That looks so good.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be finishing it now, or letting it sit for a bit?
I think it's gonna sit for a little bit.
Okay.
I could do it this weekend. I kind of want to wait and
We're in no rush.
get the outlet.
So the guy was here. He said he's gonna come in and work on it next Friday.
No, the like USB
Oh.
thing because I want to do that inset in there so we can like hide the cable.
Right.
Yeah, you got that too?
So I may hold on putting that, but I'm gonna put a blanket over it and call it later.
Cool.
Oh, I'm just filling my crack. Don't. How dare you?
Sorry. It's like stressful and satisfying at the same time.
Just stressful.
Maybe it's only satisfying to me because I'm not having to do it.
Aaron, what's 4 times 7?
I couldn't tell you that without resin.
Can I tell you?
No, it's up to Aaron.
Oh.
Handsome.
Yeah, there we go.
What's the capital of Quebec?
Quebec City, I
I
think.
don't even know the answer to that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Quebec City.
AJ.
I was telling Spike we need like a. You know how the Japanese do calisthenics breaks?
Mm-hmm.
We need that here.
I think so.
Okay, that sounds great.
Like some radio calisthenics.
Okay.
It's looking good.
I just keep sucking it in. I'm almost done. I had to kind of shift technique halfway through because I was really just trying to do that. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to use a penetrating epoxy and just let it soak in and do it that way. That way I don't have to worry about keeping it tidy because just like getting it level throughout here and getting all these little, and also it's like just a little bit too cold to be doing resin out here. So it's just like really viscous. But really only have that much more to pour in there to fill that gap to where I want it. And then I can start getting a level sand on top, and then I'm gonna do a light sanding on some of the white that I painted to get any resiny spots unresiny. And then we're done. I think we should do a supercut of me saying, and then we're done.
Yeah.
I actually don't know.
Dude, it looks.
Over the edge.
Yeah. It looks so good though.
It's gonna look really, really good. Once, and we'll sand it up to like, 1,000 probably specifically on that now that it's got resin on top, and it'll look like glass.
I'm so stoked on this.
But really, it's the light that's gonna be going down on it. It's gonna give like the real wow moment. I think.
Yeah.
But maybe that's gonna be a later date. I swear to everyone, I'm finally done with all the resin. Now it's only sanding.
For now.
Want to sand it today? I'm afraid it's too gummy still. Roll it over and put it more in the direct heat and see if that speeds up the process at all. It's just like
Yeah, the cold has really been.
going. Maybe an afternoon sand in shape.
Okay. Supposed to get up to 50. Started at 22, all the way up to 50. Whee! No!
I mean, let's face it, that thing's in the line of fire.
Yeah.
I'm going a little bit fast on this because this is really needs like another 24 hours to cure this last little coat that I put on down here. But I'm just going for time's sake at this point. Because what happens is when it's not cured, it starts to gum up really easily as you're sanding it, just because it's soft. The teeth bite into it, then it gets some heat into it. And it gets gross. But what you can kind of do is just force it off at that point by getting it warm and kind of almost rolling it. And really, I didn't need it. It was just overage that I was filling out from doing this infill around here. So I'm just trying to like burn through. We have these awful, I think they're from like someone donated them to the foundation years
That
ago.
or I bought a bunch on Amazon a while ago.
Whatever these are, just, I mean, I don't know if that translates in any way, but
Quite bad.
trash. But they're great for wasting, which is basically what you do when you take that and it just eats up all the teeth in there. But
Someone once told me, use sandpaper like somebody else is paying for it.
you heard it here.
I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but their point in saying that is like, once a disc is trash, just throw it away.
Yeah, don't try to squeeze every ounce out of it.
Yeah, but you're right. You're using it like a sponge right now.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. It's or like a scraper. So I finally got through the gunk. And the gunk is the resin that had not fully cured, and it was just a real pain. If I had waited another day, I'm sure it would have sanded fine and not been an issue. But time is kind of the essence here. And also I'm just really excited to see this as a finished product and get the big reveal when we put some oil on it. So I just tore through a bunch of pads and ate it all up, but we got through it down, and now we are flat. We are sanded to, this is 60, so if you see there's like lots of little curly keys in there, this is our starting point officially. I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on my edge right here, and this has just required some kind of shifts along the way because this wood is so hard. Obviously bowling alley, but getting it in there, it was a tight fit in certain ways, and I wouldn't have originally done the resin around here had I known that this was going to be so difficult to work with, but it kind of ended up being the only solution. So as a result, got it poured in there. I'm going to have to sand it down to make it nice and even. I'm going to put a tape line, touch up all our white paint on there, and then we'll do the oil on the wood, and that should get us done. But right now, at 60, and I want to get to 800.
All right.
Wish me luck.
How late were you here last night?
9. Not too bad. pretty alright with how that turned out.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm just gonna hit it a couple times. Sander, just because I can't leave well enough alone. And go ahead and put that finish on there. So I'll straddle that thing over it. That is helpful. No idea what viscosity this stuff is going to be. I'm really curious.
Yeah, I'm interested. It's so small.
It is. So we paste or okay,
Oh,
good.
it's pretty liquidy.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Well, I'm going to get a spreader card then.
More liquidy than I
Yeah,
thought. A little bit goes a long way.
it really does.
Yeah, look at that.
And also, this is it's not as dense as wood gets, but this is pretty high up there in the hardness, denseness categories.
So it's not going to soak it all in with a sponge.
But that's kind of the magic of these, is it like absorbs at a microscopic level down into the grain, and then when it dries, it hardens. So I'll put this on there, and this will kind of gloss over, and then I can buff it. And then if I want it to be shinier, which I think we all want it to be shinier, do a second coat in about 7 hours. But this should get us our good shots. I bet I'm gonna be able to do this whole thing with that little kerplunk.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, that looks so nice. Some of these
Love
little
maple.
speckly.
Yeah, well, you get, like, this piece has some actual figuring on it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You see the flames. Like, you'll see that a lot on the Les Paul guitar body.
Yeah.
Look. Yeah, I can't wait to get some sunlight coming through that window. I know, sorry.
No.
Let's see. It's actually navy down there. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. Probably should have made it a little bit lighter. It looks pretty dark. Pretty good about that. And let that chill for like 20-30 minutes.
So this takes about 7 hours to kind of settle in.
That is what the bottle says, which
Okay.
it has taken me a long time to actually listen to what the bottle says. There's a couple different definitions to that statement. Take that head.
Yeah. Now, will the buffing change the appearance much, or just make it like a smoother top?
It'll just give it a little bit more uniform and give it a little more
shine.
sheen. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right now, it's just gonna kind of like get a little hazy.
Yeah.
It'll continue to do that until the whole thing kind of looks
Oh, I
matte.
see.
And then as I take that buffer to it, it'll just bring that gloss right back. And then the second coat, this will get us 90% of the way there. The second coat will really just kind of fill in any little porous spots that were missed and make it even and hopefully very glass-like. Whee! Spill our coffees and
I'm not worried about it.
our 3D bowling
Yeah,
extravaganza.
exactly. I should have been filming that, but I can't film and lift.
Here, will you take it back out? You want to?
Now nobody will trust me that I was strong enough to lift it because I wasn't recording. I swear I helped. It's in here now.
It's in here, God.
How do you feel?
I like it.
I love it.
I'm very pleased with that.
I'm incredibly pleased. I think you
I really.
knocked it out of the park.
So one, or the lanes.
Yeah, that's a strike. Haha.
Oh, I missed that. It was right there. It was right there. Our little outlet bank is going to go right there. Eventually, stay tuned on that. Amazon. I'm pleased with that. And that's not bouncy. That was one of my big concerns. That had any kind of like resonance to it.
Seems like even without the stools, it seems like the perfect height.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a good standing desk option as well.
Exactly.
Which was something we kind of talked about. Eventually, I think.
And you got room for a laptop.
Huh?
You see this right when you walk in.
Huh?
We might want to scoot it a little bit more, but.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. We got new outlets. Gonna have a little USB bank. Hold on, I've got one more little thing to do.
No,
Damn.
no one cares.
Hey, everybody cares. Would you like to do the first honors?
Oh, I need a roller assist.
Yeah, I know.
Ingredient. No!
Hey!
Perfect.